You, sir.
Yeah, I've had some major experiences with LSD in terms of ego death and just a complete crushing of my psyche and my point of view, and then have come through into some brilliant light and really a very spiritual experience. And I'm only now starting to play with the mushrooms for more of that experience. I wonder if you could relate if the mushrooms have the potential to have that painful aspect of the crushing and the ego death kind of experience. So far, I haven't had that kind of experience with the mushrooms.
Well, a very nice thing about the mushroom is that it's extremely tolerant of beginners. Nevertheless, downstream from those early experiences, you're dealing with, call it the overmind, the superego. It will give you not what you want, but what you need. And it can be extremely painful. It can be extremely humbling. It can be terrifying. It seems to me, in the people I have known and in looking at my own trips that had that quality to them, it's always to the good. The ego is completely obsessed with control and wants everything to be ameliorated and presented in easily digestible increments and to proceed along an orderly program of unfoldment. And it isn't like that. It has its own weather, it has its own dynamics, and you're much more in the position of someone sailing alone in a small sailboat. You can check the weather very carefully, and this will give you an edge. Nevertheless, squalls can turn into great storms with astonishing rapidity, and yet then you're in a position to really learn. But the learning is not, the real intense learning is not necessarily painless. And I see people nodding their heads all over the room. It is not for the faint-hearted. It just simply is not for the faint-hearted. People talk about how there are no frontiers left, and we lead such coddled lives within this society and in our well-furnished apartments with our stacks of CDs and all this. Actually, it isn't true. You can turn your living room into the helm of Magellan's ship. It's simply that the great unexplored dimensions are internal and psychological, but no less dangerous for that. So it's a calling for the exploring spirit, someone who really wants that thrill. Yes?
Yes, if I understood you